So two persons, okay, Ashutosh and Priyank. Okay, two persons actually. They were working in a e-commerce portal. They were working on a e-commerce portal. Okay, so e-commerce portal. Actually, they were selling electronic goods. They were selling electronic goods. Okay, electronic goods to very popular e-companies like Amazon, Flipkart, or um, Snapdeal. Okay, so they were selling e-commerce products, particularly electronic goods, to these particular big companies. Okay, so when they were actually doing this particular, they had a e-commerce portal, and they were selling electronic goods. Okay, do this name strike anything to you? Ashutosh and Priyank. They are basically from Ahmedabad. Okay, does it sound anything to you? Does it ring anything to your mind? Okay, we'll see. Okay, so what happened is that when they were working in this e-commerce company, it's their company, they found a particular thing. Okay, very particular information, like a particular data, to be more precise, a particular data. What they found in Amazon, Flipkart, and Snapdeal when they were selling electronic goods is that they found a particular pattern. That is, more people searched for men's grooming. They searched for men's grooming. Okay, so it may be soaps, it may be special powders, or okay. So whatever the tools for men's grooming, they were actually searching for. Okay, they found that there is more search for these particular tools. Okay, so they saw that this has some potential. Okay, this had some potential. So they started up a small business. They started up a small online business with bootstrapping fund. Whatever the fund they had, because they were running an e-commerce portal, no, with that initial fund they started an online bootstrapping company. Can anyone tell what is that company? Based on this name, you can type in the chat window. Men's grooming company. Can you just type in the chat window what would be that company? A guess. Nivea. Okay, a good guess. Then it is targeted purely on men grooming. Of course, Nivea is for women also, I think so. You might have seen in ads whenever you go to now many shops, they have this product. You might think it is an international product, but it is an Indian product actually. Can you guess? Any guess? Just guess. Men's grooming. Okay, Arsha has given one option. I want some more people to give your answers. Just your guess only. Okay, Gillette, Louis Philippe. Okay, Louis Philippe is not an Indian company, I suppose. Fine, very nice, thank you. Okay, so the company is actually Beardo. Okay, you have seen the advertisements for this one now. Okay, Beardo is an Agamada-based startup company, which is bootstrap company. The founders are Ayutosh and Priyank. Okay, Priyank Seth, actually his name is Priyank Seth. These two, okay. So what they did is that they started a company based on bootstrapping exclusively for, they identified most of the great celebrities, say Amitabh Bachchan, even our Prime Minister, they had a beard. Okay, beard was a trending thing. Okay, so it was trendy. So they identified the trending aspect. Okay, so they started this company called Beardo. They started this company called Beardo, which focuses exclusively on oils and other things for beard and mustache alone. For beard and mustache alone. Okay, so that's how they started the company. In 2015, they started this company. Okay, oil and beards for mustache. Okay, and beard. Okay, so they started this company in 2015. It was a great hit actually. This company was a great hit. So 2016, a big venture capitalist approached them with a good amount of funding. Okay. Later, in 2017, another very big company called Marico Industries. Marico Industries funded their concern with a 45% stake. It's equity funding with 45% of the stake, that is funding. Okay, can anything rings to your mind when you hear this word Marico? What are the products with Marico? Marico products, do you know any Marico products? Okay, I'll just tell you, you can just Google it and see Marico products. Google and tell me. Google Marico products, Marico Industries, and just tell me what are the products Marico Industries produce. Just do a Google. Okay, good, excellent. Saffola, Parachute, excellent. Okay, so that they are the trademarks of Marico Industries. Okay, so you have these products. Okay, 2017. Why Marico invest actually in this particular company? If you see this men's grooming business, men's grooming products. Okay, men's grooming product is actually was a 3,500 crore company. Okay, product area. It was such a booming business. So Marico invested in 2017. Okay, in Beardo, and based on this investment, Beardo moved forward. They thought, why we have to only go for beard and mustache. So they started other grooming for men. Okay, so powders, soap. Okay, a variety of product. They expanded their business. Still they are in men's grooming, but instead of beard, they covered a variety of other things. Okay, so now the current scenario in 2020 July. Okay, 2020 July, Marico company got the remaining 55% stake also. So the full company was taken up by Marico, because now the business has grown as 10,000 crore market value. That is men's grooming industry. Okay, so has grown into a 10,000 crore company, 10,000 crore funding of thing. Okay, so booming business. So 2020 July, Marico has taken up full this Beardo company. Okay, what is the success? Why the Marico was success? One thing, they started with a bootstrap company. So they didn't need. Okay, what do you think was their main advantage? What have given you an study. Now can you tell what was the main advantage of this company? What was the main advantage of this particular startup? You can even tell it's bootstrap. Okay, that's one advantage. Then I want answers. What? Okay, acquiring equity investors. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, that's the keyword that I wanted to mention. Arsha pointed it correct. Beard trend. They identified what was the trend. Okay, so we may just quote it like this: right product at the right time. Right product at the right time. Okay, so that was the key mantra. Right product at the right time. Okay, that will actually fetch the success. Second important aspect is, just think if they have started their product offline. Just think if they have started their product offline, like they go to all the local shops, give their product, tell them to test their product. If it is okay, would they have got this much boom? Would it have been such a boom? Just tell yes or no. If they have taken it to a local market and they have started it, okay, so by selling, okay, definitely a no. It will take a lot of time to catch the business. Okay, so the main advantage they did was they went online. Okay, so that was a very big thing. So it was sold. Beardo was initially sold online only. After Marico has got thing, now Beardo is available in online as well as offline models. Now it is available in online as well as offline. Okay, so the biggest thing is it has gone online, and you might not believe that who were the initial customers for Beardo. The initial customers are tier 2 and tier 3. Tier 2 and tier 3 cities, not tier 1 city. So tier 2 and tier 3 cities mainly. Okay, so even I came to know this Beardo was an Indian startup later only. Okay, so how many of you know that Beardo was an Indian startup? How many of you know that Beardo is an Indian startup? If you just know it, didn't know, sir. Okay, fine. Okay, so this was a success product of Beardo. Okay, so what we wanted to focus here is, one is it's a bootstrap company. Okay, they introduced the right product at the right time. That was the key for their success. Okay, they identified the trend, so they introduced the correct product at the correct time, and to reduce the cost, instead of going for a shop and all, they went for an online business. Okay, so you know the 2016 is another important thing, because in 2016 only Jio was introduced, Jio, and the price Jio Fiber, okay, and a lot of budget phones came into picture. So that actually boomed their business. Okay, that actually boomed their business also. Fine. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you some videos, because last class I seen many students had problem with I have given two, it was not assignment actually, it was self work. So bootstrapping, we actually gave you two work to be done. Okay, one is you need to identify case studies of persons who did bootstrapping for their company, Second one, for their own venture, for your own venture, you need to identify which are the suppose you get a funding, what are your milestones, how much you are ready, what are the things you will be investing that in the money. Okay, so these two things I have told to prepare. So many students for case studies they are given very one or two. Okay, see, if you go into YouTube and explore, you can get lots of success stories, how they bootstrapped, okay, how they got success. You'll be getting lot of information about it. Okay, I'm just going to share with you some of the information as of now. So I'll just stop presenting, I'll just show you a video. First we'll see what is bootstrapping once more.
Thing for a startup is, I think today's generation in student community, all of them think that we have one great PowerPoint. There will be next guy coming to my campus and he will give me a $1 million check. It's never going to happen. Yes, the odds are 1 is to 1000 or 1 is to 100. So bootstrapping, which means to say, that's why I said it doesn't mean that you have to start now. I can give you an example. There was one co-founder who was supposed to join me, called Vikram from IIT Kanpur. He was working for Cisco. Yeah, not Cisco, Juniper. He was working for Juniper for 3 years. He made his money, saved his money, and then started a new company only as a lab for embedded systems. Okay, after 3 years now on his own. And now he is doing some robotic product, something for brain solutions. The reason I'm telling this example is, it doesn't mean to say you have to start from tomorrow and look for investment. So you need to bootstrap. Bootstrap means either you have your own money and sustain it for 6 months or 7 months or 1 year. And then when you're running short of funds, you need F&F, which means friends and family. And the investment world, they make a mockery of it. They tell friends, family and fools, because they are the ones who are blindly putting money on you, not even knowing you're going to give it back to them. They just make a mockery out of it, telling it's friends and fools, but actually friends and family. Take money from them, sustain them for probably under 6 months to 7 months or 8 months, and then once you have reached that stage, you have got a product which is scalable, you got enough money to sustain, you had a very small team of 2 or 3, then you could look for seed fund, which could be 10 lakhs or 50 lakhs. And then you give the money back to investor and then look for an angel round, the pre-series. So this is how a series goes.
Just a minute. I'll be back in a few seconds. By this time you just watched this video. Oh, sorry. Just a minute, kindly watch this video. I'll just be back in a few seconds. Okay.
Founded in 2010 by two brothers, Ankit and Pratik Jain, MyOperator essentially offers one of those automated interactive voice response systems that you hear when you call a business's phone number. Here, I'll just give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Welcome to MyOperator. Press 1 to talk to an audience representative. Press 2 for customer support. Press 3 for HR queries.
You get the idea. Their customers also get things like call reports, missed call follow-up reminders, call recording for dispute resolution, as well as employee training, after call SMS, stuff like that. And at this point, they have over 4,000 businesses using their product across 20 countries. But what's really impressive about MyOperator, besides the fact that they're fully bootstrapped, is that they were also net cash flow positive within 6 months of launching their product in 2013, which is a testament to how powerful their product really is. All right, next up at number 9, we have SaaS-based web analytics and optimization platform Wingify. Founded by Paras Chopra in 2010, Wingify uses its flagship product, VWO, which stands for Visual Website Optimizer, to help its clients to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish with their websites without a lot of complicated coding knowledge or development skill. By using VWO, Wingify's customers are able to test new features on their websites, gain insights into customer behavior through things like heat maps, surveys, and session recordings, and automate marketing campaigns to boost sales. When Bharat started the company, it was just a side hustle for him. He just wanted to make as much as he was making at his day job, which was approximately 50,000 rupees per month. However, much to his surprise, VWO took off. He ended up making 4x what he was making at his day job, 4,000 US dollars, or approximately 2 lakh. And this is what I was talking about earlier during the intro. Bharat didn't invest any of his own money. He didn't even have to quit his day job. His product essentially sold itself. It was so valuable to people that they were willing to use it even though it was untested. So let's fast forward to today when Wingify has approximately 6,000 customers across the globe, and in the financial year of 2020, they managed to generate $20 million in revenue. All right, moving on to number 8 now, we have Gurgaon-based edtech company Great Learning. Founded by Mohan Lakamraju and Hari Krishna Nair in 2013, and then later in 2016, Arjun Nair joined them as a third co-founder. Great Learning offers a technology platform that helps working professionals and students to upskill in emerging technologies like data science, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. Back in 2013, the company started its operations with just 30 students. But today, in 2020, its courses have helped 4 lakh students. That's 400,000 students in 150 countries. Also, in the financial year 2020, Great Learning generated 325 crore rupees in revenues. That's a little over $43 million from its online courses and has been consistently profitable since its second year of operations. Coming in at number 7, we have IT security company Quick Heal Technologies. Founded by 2 brothers, Sanjay and Kailash Katkar in Pune in 1995, Quick Heal started as a computer service center called CAT Computer Services. And get this, Kailash actually dropped out of school to start this company. No, not college. He dropped out of the 9th grade after failing it. And then he went with her brother Sanjay to pursue computer science. Now, one thing that Kailash noticed back in the 90s was that a lot of people were getting computer viruses. And do remember that before the tail end of the 80s, computer viruses were relatively harmless. They were just minor annoyances. But by the early 2000s, you had viruses like the I Love You worm, which infected...
Okay, so these are some of the companies which have bootstrapped, top Indian startups, okay, which have bootstrapped actually. You can just go through these things, okay. I'll just share you this link in our WhatsApp group. You just go through these companies and you will get an idea of how they did this bootstrapping, okay. And actually I wanted to give the bootstrapping by this is the Wingify company actually. I'll just share this tab. This is a Wingify company. It's the person CEO is Paras Chopra, okay. Just will again, this video is very bigger one and just going to show you first 10 minutes alone, okay.
Call ourselves as a success story as yet, and you'll see why, but I'm happy to.
What I want you to observe is what is the kind of trouble he faced, okay. So many people have dream like whenever they make a product, it is their product is the unique product, more people will buy, okay. It is not so. If you actually put your product, very few people will come. Probably Shanbaga Pandian will be better knowing that, okay. So how many times you would have failed to reach this stage, okay. It will be the case for any new startup, okay.
To just talk about where I come from and where we are right now. So that's me doing a sort of a bad attempt at a somersault somewhere, and it's just the image is just an example of sort of the crazy paths that you can take if you have an idea and you really believe in yourself, and it also exemplifies the whole idea that you don't have to walk in a specific manner, or you don't have to act in a specific manner. It's your idea. You can execute it whichever way you want, as long as you see some success. So we just to give you a little bit background about Wingify and myself. I started Wingify about 4 years back now, and Wingify is the company's name, and but the product's name is Visual Website Optimizer. Um like Ashish said, the product is primarily an A/B testing product. To simplify A/B testing greatly, A/B testing just means that you have two versions of something, and you are conducting a scientific test between those two versions and see which version is more effectively. On the in the context of web, that means that if you have a website, you are creating different versions of a website. For example, if you're an e-commerce store, you will have different versions of the buy now button. Some button may be of the red color, some button might be of the blue color, some buttons might be big, some buttons might be small. But what you essentially do is that you split your traffic between these different versions and see which buttons get you the maximum sales. You would be surprised if you read many of our case studies how even simple tweaks in colors can bring a great difference in sales and conversions. Of course, that is not to say you cannot change, you cannot test big things, for example, the entire layouts or entire pricing, but A/B testing is what our product helps. And so what we are talking about is, like I said, the company called Wingify. It was born in late 2009. My it started in 2009, and it essentially started by me writing code on a notepad. And when people talk about what was the investment that you did in the business, the great thing about web businesses and technology businesses, as most of us know, it does not require a lot of investment.
Okay, it's basically a company which offers some services for writing code, for developing. Okay, you can just go into net and see Wingify.
Do not require to put money in, say, machinery and all sorts of things. I just had a laptop and I bought a $20 virtual server from somewhere, and I got hold of a nice sounding domain, Wingify, and that was the entire thing. Wingify does not mean anything, it was just a cool domain that I got. And the code didn't look half as good as what you see in the background. It was clumsy and it was very hackish, but it worked. And that was important for the first stage, whereby I didn't want to spend a lot of time getting it right, but I wanted to get the problem right, not the implementation of it.
Okay, that's, you call it as the minimum viable product. Initially, to attract people, you don't require a very complex content. See, he itself is saying that initially he is go for a very simple coding, even though it can be easily hacked. Okay, it was not so efficient. Okay, but it just solved the problem. Okay, that's what you call it as MVP.
Right. So fast forward to this day, we are a 40, and we have about 3,300 customers across the world, essentially 80 plus countries, and we are making a revenue of about $6 million now, and funding is exactly zero. So we have been bootstrapped throughout our entire journey, and that has actually helped us being very focused. So how did this happen? I think I like to believe that it has been mostly luck and some smartness. I wouldn't call it that it was very premeditated. I knew what I was doing, and it had to happen. It happened because I was trying lots of things, and some of those things just worked purely by chance. Now, if I look back, I can always connect the dots and say it had to happen. But when I was in middle of things, it was just as chaotic as it would be for most of us doing our first startups. So this is the genesis of Wingify. A lot of people ask, how did you actually come up with the idea? And the idea didn't just arrive in a shower. It has a lot of background into positioning myself in order to be able to doing the startup. It just goes back to my school days, where that typical story of father bringing a computer and you starting to do programming instead of playing games, say Road Rash, right? I could have just played games non-stop, but I got hooked on to programming, and I feel very lucky in order to stumble cross programming. So I started programming in Visual Basic 6.0. This is year, I guess, 98, 99, where it was very popular. I made small programs like calculator and very basic stuff, but I was very happy that I am able to make computer do whatever I want it to do. It may sound very simple, But when you are a kid in say 9th standard and you get something and you're able to make stuff and that exactly gets translated onto the screen, it's a magical feeling, and it was a magical feeling for me. It just started from visual.
When I actually hear what he's saying, I just remind of one of our faculties in our own department, our Professor Sundaramurthy sir in our department. No? He's a kind of this person only. Because whenever we work with him, he writes code for almost literally everything. Suppose I face a problem like whenever I want to upload some data in the net. Okay, before you, as a faculty, you see, before Pondicherry University, when we are not autonomous, we are affiliated to Pondicherry University. So Pondicherry University introducing online internal entry. Okay, before it was purely offline. After every subject is over, staff will circulate some sheets, so the teacher will fill out the internals and just send it. Okay, once they made it online, so what they did was that even though it looked very bad, they gave a Excel sheet. Okay, they gave a Excel sheet with a particular form. You need to enter the subject code, the student register number, and then the mark. That we have to keep it in Excel sheet and we have to give it. Okay, so this entering into the Excel sheet itself will take 3 days, 4 days, 2 days, 3 days, because nearly for each semester you will have some 13 subjects. For second year, third year, final year, just imagine. So again we have to cross check whether we have entered it correct or not. Okay, so that was the kind of work. So what he did is that he immediately wrote a code in VB, and he gave me as a small program wherein if I have all the marks in a notepad for a particular subject, it will just pick the Excel, it will drop each particular thing into that Excel. Okay, isn't it fantastic? Okay, he wrote a very simple code and he gave me that code so that I'll just do the work very fast. Okay, so that's the kind of person we have with us. We are very lucky to have them. Okay, so we have to make best use of the person. Nice.
Basic 6.0 I started and it was a project called Naram Cheese, which is software for Hindi. My father just said ki whatever you are doing, put it on the web, and some of it was useful, and so people started contacting me. I had a nice little donation button on that web page, so even started getting donation and felt good. The first money that you get out of the product you are making or your efforts, it really felt good. And of course, as a student in 10th standard, getting some 5,000-6,000 rupees out of some program you have made, that felt really good. And then I just stumbled across lots of articles, and finally I stumbled across Paul Graham essays. So Paul Graham is the founder of a accelerator or an incubator in America, which is called Y Combinator, and he just writes lucidly. He writes so well that he ends up convincing you to do a startup. If anyone has not read Paul Graham's essays, I'll highly recommend them going through them. He'll just make you get up and do a startup right away. So that was the whole seed, that I was coding and I stumbled across the whole world of startup. I was reading stories about Yahoo, Google, and I thought, hey, I want to do a startup as well. And in college days, another interesting story whereby I majored in biotechnology. So I'm not a computer science major, I am not an IT major. What happened was that there was that little streak of overconfidence that I had. So when it came to choosing a major, my mother and my father wanted me to take computer science. They said it's very logical that you are just spending days and nights with computers. Now why won't you take computer engineering? And I said, this is something new for me. Let's just learn biotechnology. And in fact, that also, as I was saying, looking back, it helped me do a lot of stuff that I'm doing now. But it was just purely random. I just took it because I didn't know anything about biology and wanted to learn it. So within biotechnology, I started taking a lot of interest in a subfield called computational biology, where you're just solving biological problems using computer coding. So I still stuck to the coding part and did a lot of, in biology, you of course have a lot of data that you have to analyze, the DNA.
Okay, so that's about bootstrapping. So now you might have got some idea on what you have to do in your assignment, right? So that's what I wanted you to do. Fine. So we'll go to the last part of this unit, namely pitching. we go to the last part of this particular topic. We'll have pitching. Okay. Have you just got some idea on what is bootstrapping? You can just type in chat yes or no. Just type it in chat yes or no. You got some idea of what is bootstrapping and what it is done, and why it is necessary, or how we have to do with the assignment. I mean, not the assignment, the classwork. Okay, fine. Thank you, Ganesh Babu and Surya Prakash. Fine. So the last part is the pitching. Pitching allows you to identify people. Okay, so it's an opportunity. It's like telling a story about your company. Pitching is basically a story about your company. Story about your company. Okay, so you have to, whenever you tell this story, it has to be come along with your feelings. It has to be with emotions. Okay, so your body language plays a very important role. It should not be like you are mugging up something and just vomiting something. Okay, it should be with your flow with your body. So it should be telling about your own company. Okay, so this particular thing, this is what we do in our counseling session also. Tell about yourself. Okay, should prepare it, and you have to tell about yourself in a quiet, easy flow. Okay, so even when you go for any interview, this particular question will be your first question, to know about yourself, your body language, how much confident you feel. Okay, how much happy you feel about yourself. Okay, this is the first question asked by any interviewer. This particular technique is also important for identifying investors for your company. Okay, identifying investors. So this should be, so you can practice it for some 5 minutes. Okay, your pitch for your company. Then you try to have as short as possible, even a 30 seconds pitch, a 60 seconds pitch should be ready, so that you try to impress the person in 30 seconds. You try to impress the person in 60 seconds. Okay, this is something, a term that is commonly used with pitching is called as elevator pitching. Okay, so what is this basically, elevator pitching? You have the videos, you can see it, but I'll just give you some more additional information. Suppose you are making some computer programs as Prayas Chopra of our this particular concern, Wingify. Okay, say you make a lot of computer programs. You are in a lift. Okay, you are in a lift. There are three floors are there in the lift. Okay, so you just are going to just go to the top floor. You're going to the top floor, and when the lift is about to close, one person enters into your chamber. Say he is the CEO of a very popular computer-based e-commerce company, computer-based company. Okay, if he actually gets to know about your business, there is a possibility you might get a funding. Okay, so you are with that person, yourself and that CEO is in that lift. Okay, so hardly 60 minutes, say 60 seconds or 30 seconds, the lift goes to the third floor. In that small time, you need to impress the person. In that small time, you need to impress that person, so that he gives you a funding. Okay, so that's what is called as elevator pitch. Okay, so pitching is such a very important part for an entrepreneur. Okay, not necessarily entrepreneur, for any person, pitching is very much required. Pitching in general, it's about yourself. When you talk about a company, you tell what is the good thing about your company. Okay, it's not just a story. Even though I told it's a story, it's not just a story. So what are the aspects you need to concentrate in your pitch? First and foremost thing. Okay, so what is the problem you're trying to solve? Okay, what is the problem you're trying to solve? How big is the problem? Even pitching is important to get money from your own family people. Okay, they might believe in your vision, but you need to convince them. You have to tell how big is this problem, what is its market value, okay, how pressing is this problem, okay. You need to convince them. There also this pitching comes into picture, okay. So first one is what is the problem. You need to fill this with a story which has emotions, okay. Even you can give some statistics about why this is a pressing problem, okay. Show the people that it requires some attention. That's the first thing. Second thing, what is the solution you offer? Okay, how good is the solution? Okay, how good is the solution? You can show it with a screenshot. You can, suppose it's an app, you can show it with a screenshot, you can show it with a visual, a small video of it, okay. You can demonstrate with a simple explanation, okay. You have to give the solution, how far your solution matches with your problem. That's the second part, okay. Third one, what is your unique value proposition? Okay, how far you are differentiating yourself from the competitors? What is that uniqueness? Why should I go for you? If I have 10 companies in a row offering the similar product, why should I come towards you? Okay, that's called as a unique value proposition, okay. So with these ideas you can just build your business model. You should have your business model ready. Business model, mainly what we govern with business model is not the original business model that you have been seeing. Business model in the sense, what is your revenue stream? Whom you identify as your potential customer? What are the other revenue streams you have? Okay, so that's your fourth part. So fourth one, what is the business model? How you are planning to get the revenue? Okay, if you have done a revenue, whom you have sold the business, whom you have sold your product, what was their feedback, how did you feel about it? Okay, that's all comes under your business model. Second thing, what is your traction? So traction is what are your milestones? What are the milestones you wish to achieve? Okay, in a shorter time or long time, what is your vision? That's what I mean by milestones, okay. And the last is, who is the team you have? What is the team you have? How best is your team? How unique is your team? Okay, so all these aspects has to be covered, okay. So you need to look into all these aspects, okay. Create a small PowerPoint presentation. And you need to present in the next class, okay. Go through those videos. That assignment has to be done online. This assignment has to be done online. You have to look into all these aspects, okay. So you might now have a problem, you might have a solution, you might have thought of your unique value proposition, you might have thought of what are the revenue streams, you should have a vision of your milestones, you have a team, of course, okay. So almost all these aspects you have. Only thing you not put into use, but you can talk about all these things, okay. So what you need to do is that you need to prepare a PPT covering all these aspects, the 6 points whichever I told you, okay. The 6 points cover பண்ற மாதிரி ஒரு PPT ready பண்ணனும். And one person will be presenting, okay. But all the 6 persons have to contribute towards it. One person will be presenting. That person who is going to present will be selected random. It is not you fix. I am going to select the person who will be talking, not based on your name. I'll just put it as a random lot. We are going to select the person who is going to talk, okay. So whatever you need to talk, you prepare the script for the talk. You prepare a script, You prepare a script, go through the corrections, English corrections, okay. All of them practice the script. All the team members practice the script, okay. Team members practice the script, be it ready. So on next week the assignment is online. You will be presenting your pitch. You will be presenting your pitch not more than 3 minutes. For each person, not more than 3 minutes. So you will present as well as you will show your PPT. You will present as well as you will show your PPT. Okay. So that's how your it will be assessed. Fine. I'll show you some of the famous. Okay. Just a minute. I'm just showing you some of the famous pitch. I want to just show you. I have just 1 more minute, I think so. I'll just go to this one. Okay, I'm just going to Uber. Okay, I'm just showing you the pitch deck of Uber way back in 2008. Okay, this is the pitch deck of Uber. Okay, and you can see one company here, Slidebean. This is a company where I have downloaded this pitch deck. If you go, this is a company which does the main purpose of this company is it's a professional pitching company. That is, you are a startup, you approach them, they will prepare a pitch for your company and they will give you. It is chargeable. Okay, that's the purpose of this company. And it also offers a free resources. You can go into the company, you can see a good number of pitch decks. Okay, I have downloaded it for Uber. All of you know what is Uber, right? Okay, see, Uber cab. See, the main thing, that name with a tagline. See, this is a tagline. They give a tagline for your product. So next generation car service, that's a tagline. Okay, and your PPT should have very less number of text. Text should be very minimal. Use appropriate figures. You will get an idea about when you see this Uber. See, problem. Cabs in 2008. Most used aging and inefficient technology, radio dispatch, no two-way communication. Most common car is this one. Hailing is done by hand or phone. No GPS coordination between client and driver. Significant fare seeking or dead time. Okay. See these aspects. Then from that, so this is the scenario problem in detail. So medallions are expensive and drivers are underpaid. The cost is more. Driver make very less money. No incentive, accountability for drivers, clients. Okay. So solution, Uber cab concept, a fast and efficient on-demand car service, professional in American cities, convenience of a cab, because it was started there only initially. Okay. So how it works? So they give the one-click car service. Must be member to use the service. Not hailed from street. Guarantee pickup. Okay. So what are the key differentiators? What are the optimized fleet, fast response time, great drivers, high-tech solution, luxury vehicles. Okay. So operating principles. This is, they have got lot thing, but you can just pick the key things from here alone, which is okay. So what is their product? They have an app. They have to just click. Okay. So the website, they have provided screenshots and cases. Okay, where this particular thing will be very good. Trips to airport pickup, working while commuting. Okay, their user use cases, user benefits. Okay, they give guarantee, can take 45 minutes, safe and clean, 1 to 3 hour notice. Okay, all those things. So initial service area. Okay, they started up the initial service area. Then what is the technology behind them? Okay, so what is the overall market? So how much, what is their growth? Okay, so which is the market segment they are concentrating? Okay, and the target cities. Okay, potential outcomes. Okay, lot of information is here. You can just go through this one. You need to just go to Slidebean and you can just download it. Okay, you need to register, but you can download a good amount of things. Okay, I'll also show you one more deck. That's for Airbnb. So if I just open the deck for Airbnb, okay, see their tagline: book rooms with locals rather than hotels. Book rooms with locals rather than hotels. Okay, so problem is price is an important customer. See all the backgrounds actually match with their actual problem. Okay, so hotels leave you disconnect from city and its culture. No easy way exists to book a room. Okay, so solution, a web platform is users can rent their space. Okay, save money when traveling, make money, share culture. Okay, this the way in which they project, see, share culture, local connection to the city. Okay, that's something great. Okay, how they have validated their market, their its product is listed in Craigslist. Okay, so what is the market size? So how people can do about the search for their product, what are the listings, okay, what is their business model, okay, on what are their primary revenue, what is their projected revenue. Okay, so you can just get about all these aspects. What is the competition advantage, okay, who is the team, okay, what is their qualification, what are some of the user testimonials. Okay, so that's it about the thing. We'll have a small video which I wanted to show you before we actually stop. Okay, we are actually presenting the full screen, right? Okay, see this video, I'll take just 3 minutes more.
You're watching Pitch Right, brought to you by Zoom Startups India. Today I have with me Sriraman from Agraya Technologies, and she is here today to pitch his product, which is a news app called Keen.
Here we are going to see the typical elevator pitch. It's a company which does a. We'll see.
Shri, firstly, welcome.
Thank you, Kainar.
And I'm keen to know more about Keen.
So we are Agraya Technologies. We are building a suite of products in non-English languages.
Yeah.
One of them is Keen. It's a news app that lets you keep track of people, places, things, and organizations in your language. Let's say you want to keep track of Delhi, startups, or Bitcoin, but in Hindi or Marathi. Keen is the app. It's a free Android app to keep track of things you care about.
Okay, and how many languages do you guys support?
We are currently supporting 7 languages and working towards adding more.
So are you excited to pitch to Sanjay?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. So the right
Now the pitching starts. Just see how it's beautiful.
carpet is all yours.
Thank you so
Not
much.
audible, sir.
Yes? Is it not audible? Not audible.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Hi, Sanjay.
is it audible now?
No, sir, not audible, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, I'll just. முன்னாடியே கேட்கலையா இப்பதான் கேட்கலையா
முன்னாடியே கேட்கல.
ஓகே சரி இப்போ கேளுங்க கேட்கும் ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட்
His product, which is a
Kekada?
news app called Keen. So Shri, firstly, welcome.
ஓகே
Thank you, Kainar.
And I'm keen to know more about Keen.
So we are Agraya Technologies. We are building a suite of products in non-English languages.
Yeah.
One of them is Keen. It's a news app that lets you keep track of people, places, things, and organizations in your language. Let's say you want to keep track of Delhi, startups, or Bitcoin, but in Hindi or Marathi. Keen is the app. It's a free Android app to keep track of things you care about.
Okay, and how many languages do you guys support?
We are currently supporting 7 languages and working towards adding more.
So are you excited to pitch to Sanjay?
Yes, we are.
now the pitching is starting. It's-
Okay, great. So the right carpet is all yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, Sanjay.
Pleasure to
Thank you. Sriraman from Agraya Technologies. We are building a suite of products in non-English languages. One of them is Keen. It's a news app that lets you keep track of things that you care about in your language. So if you want to keep track of startups or Bitcoin, but in Hindi or Marathi, it lets you do it. We have also built in a read mode for flaky and low speed internet connections, and this is free app right now and works in 7 different languages.
Oh, and how do you monetize?
So we have featured content and interest targeted advertising in it. So that's the monetization.
Awesome. Your time is up.
For a startup that pitched a news app, I'm waiting for good news here. That's how it's done.
It's great to hear your pitch, but I would have loved to hear the bigger picture. What problem you are trying to solve across? Well, I got across you are trying to solve the Indian language in the news stuff in terms of what's the age, how, what.
Okay, I'll share all these video links to you, fine. So you can go through these videos